Welcome to Easy English, your go-to channel for improving your English and life.
Welcome. So today we're tackling something I think really resonates with, well, almost everyone. This whole idea of whether we're enough. You hear that phrase all the time, don't you? You are enough.
Oh, definitely. It's everywhere.
Yeah, and it sounds simple, maybe easy to say to someone else, but really believing it about yourself, turning it inwards, that can be, well, a whole different story, a real challenge sometimes.
It really can. It seems so basic on the surface, but it hits right at the core of how we see ourselves, doesn't it?
Exactly. So that's kind of our focus today. We want to unpack what you are enough truly means, maybe get a handle on some useful words around this, understand why it's often such a struggle, and, look at ways to actually start believing it.
Yeah, because so many people walk around with this underlying feeling that they're lacking something, that they're not quite measuring up. So really digging into this can be, well, really helpful.
Right. Okay, so let's maybe start with some key English words, building blocks, you could say, for this whole conversation, just to make sure we're on the same page.
Good idea.
First one, enough. Simple word. Basically means sufficient, as much as is needed, like in the phrase, you are enough just the way you are. Yeah. What's the deeper sense there?
Well, enough here really suggests a kind of completeness. Like there's no deficit. It pushes back against that feeling that something's missing, that you need more stuff or more achievements or to be different, to be okay. It's about seeing an inherent wholeness.
Wholeness, I like that. Okay, then there's worthy, meaning deserving of love or attention, respect. An example might be, you are worthy of kindness, even on your bad days. What does worthy add?
Worthy gets at our basic human value, I think. It says that good things like love, respect, care, they aren't things you have to, earn through hoops or prove you deserve.
Right.
They're just yours because you're human. It sort of dismantles the idea that our value depends on performance.
Okay, that makes sense. And related to that is self-worth, which is the value you see in yourself. Self-worth is not based on how many mistakes you make. Why single out self-worth?
Because self-worth is really internal. It's about how you assess yourself separate from what anyone else says or what you achieve or, where you mess up. Mistakes happen, right? They're part of learning. They shouldn't chip away at your core value any more than, a rainy day makes the sun disappear.
Good analogy. Okay, next word, affirmation. This is a positive statement, something to help you believe in yourself. Like, I'm growing and I am enough. That's affirmation. How do they work?
Affirmations are basically tools to consciously fight back against that negative self-talk, that inner critic a lot of us have. When you deliberately repeat positive things, you can actually start to rewire your thinking, reinforce healthier beliefs about yourself.
Rewire your thinking. Okay. And lastly, flawed, meaning, not perfect. Having imperfections, making mistakes. We hear things like, everyone is flawed, and that's what makes us human. What's the benefit of admitting flaws?
Oh, acknowledging that we're flawed, that we're not perfect. It's incredibly freeing, actually. It helps break down that whole myth of perfectionism.
Yeah, which causes so much stress.
Exactly. So much anxiety, feelings of not being good enough. When you accept your imperfections, you can be, kinder to yourself and kinder to others, too. It's
really interesting how those words, just those 5, kind of build a whole picture, doesn't it? A framework for understanding this enoughness idea. So now we've got the vocabulary. Let's really dig into the main idea. You are enough. What's the heart of that message?
The absolute core is, I think, inherent value, unconditional acceptance. It's saying you don't need to change fundamentally to deserve love or to feel like you belong. Your worth isn't some kind of prize you win.
Or a level you have to reach.
Exactly. It just is. It's already there.
It's so easy to fall into that trap, though, isn't it? Thinking, if I just got that promotion, or if I just lost weight, or if I was fluent, then I'd be enough.
Right. The if-only trap.
Yeah. But this idea says no, right now. As you are, you have value.
And importantly, this isn't about just, sitting back and not growing. It's really key to get that you are enough doesn't mean don't learn or don't evolve.
Good point.
It just changes your starting point. You're not starting from broken or lacking. You're starting from whole, and you can still grow and learn.
That's a really crucial distinction. So value yourself now while embracing the journey. It actually reminds me of this story. about a student learning English.
Okay.
They were getting really down on themselves, about making mistakes. Said something like, I'm just not good enough at this. And the teacher said something really wise, like, you're not good enough. You're learning, and learning takes guts. You are enough, even with the mistakes.
That's a perfect example. It shows how easily those feelings of inadequacy can pop up, especially when you're doing something challenging, like learning a language. The student tied their self-worth completely to their English level.
Right. And I think anyone learning a language, or honestly any new skill, knows that feeling. Being embarrassed about mistakes or your accent or saying the wrong thing. But the real truth is, those struggles don't actually define your worth. The fact that you're even trying, putting yourself out there, that shows something really valuable. It shows you care, it shows courage.
It changes the focus, doesn't it? From judging where you are right now to appreciating the process, the effort, the bravery involved in stepping outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, okay, if we accept this idea that we are inherently enough, how do we actually start chipping away at those really stubborn beliefs that tell us the opposite?
The big question. How do you silence that inner critic, especially when you're, say, struggling with your English and it's shouting, see, not good enough?
Right. What do we do then?
Well, a really important first step is just noticing it. Becoming aware of that negative self-talk. What does it actually sound like? For a language learner, it might be, my English is terrible, or I'll never sound like a native speaker, or people probably think I sound stupid. Just recognizing those thoughts is huge.
We all have those soundtracks playing, don't we? That negative background noise.
We do. They can be very persistent.
So, okay, we notice them. Then what? How do we, change the track?
One really powerful technique is called reframing. It's basically choosing consciously to look at the thought or the situation from a different angle, a more helpful angle.
Okay, do me an example.
All right, so instead of thinking, my English isn't good enough, you could consciously reframe it as, I am actively learning and getting better at English every single day.
Ah, I see. Same situation, different perspective. One focused on lack, the other on progress.
Exactly. It acknowledges the reality you're learning, but puts a positive, active spin on it.
What about some other common ones, like, I'll never be fluent?
You could reframe that as, maybe every mistake I make is actually helping me learn and get stronger. It turns errors from failures into, data points. Yeah. Feedback.
Okay, mistakes as data. I like that. And the fear of being judged. People will laugh at me.
You could shift that thought to something like, wow, I'm being brave just by speaking another language. My effort is what really counts here.
That is so much more empowering. It's like you're deliberately choosing a different story to tell yourself. One that actually helps you instead of holding you back.
Precisely. You're rewriting the script in your head. And if you do that consistently, with practice, those negative thoughts start to lose their grip. You build up a more encouraging inner voice.
And that builds confidence, right? Makes you more willing to try again, even after a mistake.
Absolutely. It fosters that self-compassion you need to keep going.
Okay, this is great. We've talked about the meaning, fit our thinking. Now let's try something really hands-on, something that can help us feel this enoughness more deeply. Let's talk about emotional affirmations.
Yes. Affirmations are like speaking kindness directly to yourself, planting seeds of belief. They can really counteract those old negative messages we've picked up.
All right. Let's actually try some. If you're listening, maybe just find a comfortable spot. Take a slow, deep breath in and let it out. Okay, ready? Just repeat these after me, either silently in your mind or softly out loud, whatever feels right for you. Okay? I am enough.
I am enough.
I am growing every day.
I am growing every day.
I am not perfect, but I am worthy.
I am not perfect, but I am worthy.
My value is not measured by my mistakes.
My value is not measured by my mistakes.
I choose to believe in myself.
I choose to believe in myself.
I am enough.
I am enough.
Let's do that last one again.
Yeah.
Just once more, and really try to feel it. Let the words land in your heart. Ready? I am enough.
I am enough.
It's so crucial to remember. You don't need anyone else to sign off on this. You don't need permission to believe in yourself.
That's so true.
Or external proof to know your own worth, the value of your path. You really do have the power inside you to write your own story, a story of, strength and self-acceptance.
Absolutely. It's not out there somewhere. It's an inside job cultivating that belief.
So, with that in mind, maybe just take a moment later. When you have some quiet time, perhaps grab a notebook or just think. Consider a few questions like, What are maybe 3 things you actually like about yourself?
Mm-hmm.
And can you think of a time, maybe recently, maybe longer ago, when you felt genuinely proud of your effort? Not necessarily the result, but just your effort.
Good one.
And finally, just for you, what does being enough really mean in your own words?
Yeah, those are great prompts for just checking in with yourself. And remember, if you're doing this in English, don't worry about perfect sentences or grammar. Just let your thoughts flow. The reflection itself is the point.
Exactly. And now, if I could just speak directly to you, listening right now. If no one else has said this to you today, let me say it. You are doing your best. You really are. You're learning.
Yeah.
You're growing. And even on the hard days, the frustrating days, the days you feel like you're going backwards, please know you are enough.
There's this core light inside everyone. And the mistakes, setbacks, they can't put that light out. Your fundamental value just doesn't change.
So please, keep going. Keep speaking English. Keep making those mistakes. They're how you learn. Laugh about them sometimes. Learn from them. And just be kind to yourself through it all. Love yourself through the process.
Yes. Self-kindness is key. It's not just about learning a language. It's about learning yourself, too.
Okay, so thinking about this week, I've got a little 3-part challenge for you if you're up for it.
Okay.
First, try using that affirmation, I am enough, just once a day. Say it out loud in English. And really try to say it with kindness towards yourself.
Nice.
Second, share the knowledge. Teach someone, anyone, one new English word you learned or like. Just one word. Pay it forward. And third, this might be the most important one, make a real point of being kind to yourself. Especially when things feel tough or you mess up. Just remember, growth takes time. It's like a flower, right? It doesn't bloom overnight. It needs patience.
Yeah.
It needs care.
Those are fantastic challenges. One for the inner belief, one for engaging with the language actively, and one for that crucial self-compassion piece.
Yeah.
Really well-rounded.
Well, thank you so much for exploring all this with me today. And thank you, listening, for spending your time with us. We see your effort. We appreciate you being open to this. And we genuinely believe in your journey.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in.
And just to leave you with something to mull over, here's a final thought. What might you feel empowered to do, or try, or be, if you really, truly, deep down, believe that you are enough? What doors might that open?